The Earth's climate has been changing and evolving throughout history. There have been 7 recorded cycles of glacial advancement and retreat. So what makes this current climate change so notable? Well, this warming, rather than being attributed to natural global changes, is most likely human-induced and working rapidly, and is affecting every aspect of life as we know it. People will die, animals will die, plants will die, and ice will die. Regardless of the visual and scientific facts, proving unequivocally that the climate is rapidly changing. Many of our country's most powerful leaders are still denying its existence and dodging questions in regards to our current climate situation and how to rectify it. The only way we are going to be able to save our delicate ecosystem will be to educate the general population on the current issues and facts and provide some alternatives to the toxic life and economic choices that we, as a society, have been perpetuating.
Climate change can't be real.
So what exactly is causing climate change? Yeah, it's primarily us. To produce energy, we use a large amount of fossil fuels, such as coal, oil, and gas. We've also cleared and destroyed a huge amount of the Earth's natural forests, about 80%, a devastatingly huge amount lost. These two issues create an increase of concentration of CO2 in the atmospheres. There's been a 40% increase since the Industrial Revolution. Methane and nitrous oxide emissions from agriculture contributes to the increase of heat-trapping gases. So basically, most of the things you do during the day contribute to climate change and the damage to the environment. Way to go us, we rock. The consequences of climate change are very scary and dangerous. Climate change causes a change in our weather patterns, impacts not only the increase of rain, which causes flooding, or the increase of heat waves, which increases drought, but it also has an impact of the number of natural disasters that occur. And speaking of heat, the US average temperature has increased by 1.3 degrees Fahrenheit to 1.9 degrees Fahrenheit since 1895, most since 1970. Concerning the wildlife, climate change is drastically messing with the species' lives, faster than they are able to adapt to. Currently, the oceans are becoming more acidic from absorbing more CO2, and this negatively affects marine ecosystems and biodiversity. One example of this are the coral reefs. There have been an increase in the amount of coral bleaching, and big parts of the Great Barrier Reef are sadly now dead. The collapse of the reefs eliminates the habitats and food for fish. Climate change also alters key habitat elements important to the survival of certain species. One of the impacts of this problem creates changes in the behaviors and migration patterns of ducks, geese, and waterfowl.
Right? They will cut you.
I know, but don't they also have them?
Geese are like ground and skybirds with nothing to lose.
They have nothing to lose.
For other migratory species, including types of birds, they find their food source after they migrate is gone because it has flowered or hatched too early or hasn't at all. Lastly, droughts caused by global warming could create the loss of 90% of central US wetlands, which means that the breeding habitats of multiple different species will be gone. These are some of the many devastating effects that climate change has on our world.
So a renewable resource is a resource that can be used repeatedly because it's made naturally. Examples are solar energy, geothermal energy, wind power, hydropower, tidal power, and biomass. Solar energy uses solar panels to capture the sun's energy and convert it into electrical power. Wind power uses the wind to spin a turbine, and it spins a generator which creates and stores energy. Hydropower is captured by using the energy of falling water to spin a turbine into energy. Tidal power is a form of hydropower that uses the tides of the ocean to generate its power. On a personal level, you can simply just reduce your energy consumption by turning off lights, having high efficiency appliances in your home. You should also conserve water, recycle, or carpool to work or school. The government can also do different things to help control climate change. They can increase carbon taxes, which are taxes put on companies based on how much carbon dioxide they produce. Its goal is to make companies lower their emissions so they will want to save more money. They can also share and spread more information about climate change to their citizens.
Americans are responsible for approximately 220 million tons of waste annually. What is waste management? Waste management is collection, transportation, and disposal of garbage, sewage, and other waste products. Recycling is one way to begin to responsibly dispose of plastic, paper, and metal products. Reliably recycling your recyclables will begin to reduce one's carbon footprint. Composting your leftovers is a great way to return your unwanted or uneaten food to the earth. Many homes have begun to compost their food into their gardens, creating a full, wasteless cycle of production and growth. Composting also reduces the amount of methane gas released into the atmosphere, which is one of the leading causes of climate change. Soil with compost requires less, if any, pesticides to grow large crops. Purchase less, but if you have to buy something, purchasing products made with eco-safe, renewable energy and materials will begin to aid in the ending of massive waste of product and resources.
Overall, in conclusion, climate change has to do with the change of weather patterns, as it either refers to the change in weather conditions or in the time variation of weather in general. It can be caused by factors such as solar radiation and plate tectonics. But the main attribute when it comes to climate change itself is certain human activities. These activities include a decrease in water quality, an increase in pollution and greenhouse gases, and a depletion of natural resources. As a result, if these activities continue, the Earth as we know it will continue to change drastically, and the outcomes themselves will not be good.
Okay, yay! 80% of the Earth's natural forests, a devastatingly huge amount. A